Hello everybody, I hope you're doing well. My name's Sandra if you're new here, and welcome, and if you're one of my regulars, welcome back. I just wanted to throw up a quick little chit chat video. I'm going to start I actually have started releasing my videos every 2 weeks now instead of once a week. It was just getting to be too much on me, and I'm sure a lot of you understand. You're a great group of people and you're very supportive, and I appreciate that. And also, just touch base real quick, I did go ahead and create a Facebook page. So if you want to join me over there on Facebook, it's Gentle Living with Sandra, just same as the title of my YouTube channel. And I'll post just random little snippets over there, and it's just a way to kindly get an insight to what I might be doing from time to time, and that will help fill those gaps a little bit in between my videos, hopefully. And I've got that community page, but it doesn't seem like it gets much traffic or attention. So I'm thinking that maybe the Facebook page might work a little better. They say the community page is very underused, but in my experience, and I know a lot of it's because I do have a small channel, I don't know if anybody really notices or if it really shows up in their feed. So there's that. So if you're inclined and you're interested, join me over there on Facebook, or you can find me over there. And I just post little odd and end snippets, I ordered, okay, now that I got all that out of the way, I ordered me some lunch out today. And I should just stayed at home, but just been up busy, just didn't really feel like cooking. So I thought, well, I'll just order something out here at town where I live. And I placed my order and went out there to pick it up. And it said to allow like 35 minutes. And I'm going to tell you, if you're local to my area, I'm going to tell you, it was Giovanni's in Olive Hill. And I'm not trying to dog anybody, but I'm tired of wasting our hard-earned money on something that's less than acceptable quality, in my opinion. And I don't like to gripe, but sometimes it takes people griping to get change. But, I don't want to just dog on them, because this problem's getting to be with every restaurant you go to. And I just want to use them as an example for what I got today. I ordered their, it's a stromboli. The sandwich was fine. Pretty much, the taste was there. It gave me a time to come and pick it up. It was 35 minutes. I actually got there like within 25 minutes, so I was actually 10 minutes early. That sandwich was not hot, but it was still a little bit warm, and it was still fresh, and the flavor was good. But I want to show you these French fries I got. Ordered a little order of French fries. I wished I hadn't even wasted my money on them. It was almost $3 for order fries. This right here is their French fries. Every one of them's like it. They barely look like they got thawed in the deep fryer. People can't afford to eat out really anymore. But then when you go ahead and you're just like, well, I'm going to make this splurge, and you get fries like that's wilty, that's disappointing. All right, I'm going to move on. I didn't want this to be just a gripe video, but this just gives you an example of what it's like to go out to eat now. A few days ago, me and my husband ordered pickup at our local Mexican restaurant. The chicken was so overcooked that it was dry and hard to chew, and my husband has trouble with his teeth anyway. So it was hard to eat. I didn't get all the items with what I ordered. I got like the chicken and shrimp fajita, and I think that was supposed to come with rice and beans. that wasn't even in the bag. The chicken was overdone. My husband got all his stuff with his. The portion size was considerably smaller, which I don't complain too much about that because it's usually more used to be anyway, more than I could eat anyway. So they left out items. They give you chips of salsa. They didn't get the lid sealed on the salsa. It poured out in the bag. So there's that. Didn't get the benefit of that. And it's just disappointing. And it's getting to be a consistent thing out there. And you know, when they first started up, oh, they were so great. A lot of these restaurants used to be so good, and you knew, yeah, it might be a little pricey, but you knew you was going to get something good to eat for your money. So that's bad. Well, after church, we usually go out to eat. And we went to Burger King. My sandwich was good. I ordered something new they had there. And it was, they were tater tots. It showed on their menu board. Tater tots with cheddar and ranch seasoning. Or it says cheddar and ranch tater tots. Looked good up there. I thought, well, something different, you know. So I got those, and those were almost $3 for 8 of those. But I thought, well, I'll splurge, especially if they might be good. Excuse me, y'all. Got those, opened the little baggie that they come in. They look like chicken nuggets. You know, I turn around and look back on the board, and I see what clearly looks like tater tots with the title right beside of it, cheddar and ranch. And I look back in the bag again. They look like chicken nuggets. So I'm thinking, I think they give me somebody else's order, you know. So I go and I tear one open. It's not a chicken nugget. That is what they called their tater tots with the cheddar and ranch. It had the consistency like a chicken nugget would. The inside didn't look discernible. It almost looked like chicken nugget meat in it. You know how they puree that up and cook it? So I bit into one to taste. You couldn't taste the cheese. You could get a mild taste of the ranch. But that was their tater tots. Looked nothing, absolutely nothing like what was on the board. I was so disgusted. And you know, that's getting to be the norm everywhere you go. Now, the weekend before last, we went to Hardee's. I got they had this new thing advertised, and a chicken sandwich with the hot honey. And I thought, oh, that's different. I'll try that. That chicken little patty thing, whatever it was so dark and brown. It had no flavor. It was gross. It was greasy. And the hot honey on it wasn't much on it. So there was a sandwich, and they're not cheap, that just, I didn't even finish it. It was so disgusting. Well, McDonald's has had their new, let me see if I get it right. It's their brown butter honey. Like in the breakfast, they've got the chicken biscuit. You get the brown butter and honey on it. And I think they have a bacon sandwich. Well, I sat there and I kept watching in their app for it to be available, because that really sounded good to me. The chicken sandwich with the brown butter and honey. And one morning I seen it was available. So I went out to get me and my son a breakfast sandwich. And I thought that would be good, and he could have that before he left to go to work. They put so little on that it just tastes like ordinary chicken biscuit. Which, granted, it was a good chicken biscuit, don't get me wrong, but there was nothing special about it. And I can't remember if it costs more or not, but to make a special trip out there and waste gas for that was disappointing. But people, when you go out to eat anymore, don't look for it to be good food. You're paying for convenience, and that's all you're getting. And you're barely getting even good service at that. Yeah, you're paying for convenience anymore. You're not getting good quality at all. So when you go and go through the drive-thru, sit in, Just realize you're actually just paying for a convenience. You're not guaranteed quality or good food or anything. So it's disappointing. Um, Actually, you can go to these little gas stations and places like that and get better quality food anymore than you can an actual restaurant. We've got this little gas station. Well, we call it a mini mart. It's on the way to go visit my mom. And me and my husband will get breakfast there before church, And they've actually got like really good home cooked breakfast. And they just use the frozen biscuits. It's not nothing fancy, but they do a good job and it tastes like home cooked meal. Their gravy is home cooked. But it's like a combination of, they do some things with convenience, but you're getting a good meal when you get there. They make the real ground beef cheeseburgers. They have the Hunt's Brothers pizzas there. Honestly, don't knock Hunt's Brothers pizza. I've went to some of the main restaurants that serve pizza, and they're a crying shame. Some of them are. And the Hunt's Brothers is actually usually more consistently good. But yeah, I didn't want to make a video just gripe, but it's just really disheartening when you don't have a lot of money and you finally talk yourself into eating out or something, and then that's what you get. It's just like those fries. I'm not going to eat them. My husband's calling. Okay, sorry about that, guys. That was my husband calling. Probably a good thing, because I was getting on I feel like I was going on a little bit of a mini rampage. I don't mean to be like that, but yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with my area where I live. I think that's just the way it is now. That's our new reality. It's kind of like, I think of it, and I don't know why this analogy come to mind, but back when I was younger, like if you had to go stay with somebody at the hospital, or whatever the case might be, and say you miss cafeteria hours, which hospital food, I mean, some you win, some you lose, but anyway, if you didn't catch cafeteria hours, that meant you had to go to the vending machine. And I believe most of us can understand what I'm talking about. It wasn't going to be nothing spectacular that you got out of that vending machine, and it was going to cost you a little bit of money. That's today's restaurants. Yep. It's pretty bad. So hospital food, quality, or the vending machine, and big high prices. But anyway, allow me to move on from that. I didn't want this video just be all griping. I wanted to move on to something else and ask you all a question. I'm thinking about buying one of those electric pressure canners. Now, I've got one of those great big ones that you put on your stovetop, and I've done very little canning. Now, I grew up with everybody around me canned. Primarily my part growing up in that was helping in the garden, like picking green beans, pulling the tomatoes, even small things like planting the seed, helping to water, different things like that. That's what I got put to do, snapping the beans, stuff like that, washing jars. But as far as hands-on canning, I never did. Really, in my youth and young adulthood, I never canned. But one day, years ago, I did go buy me one of those big pressure canners with big ideals that I was going to try to can in. And the things I canned ground beef. Well, actually, it was meatloaf in a jar. I watched that off of Bear Prepper. I don't know if she's still around, if y'all remember her. I'm sure a lot of you do recognize her channel. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but I didn't care for it. So that was kind of a fail, in my opinion, on something good to can. But you don't know till you try. And then I also tried my hand at canning chili, and it turned out really good. And I also canned just chicken breast. Oh, excuse me, y'all. And it turned out really good. My mom, she even borrowed it and canned her some chicken. That was the best chicken ever was. But I'm interested in just doing small batch canning. And I thought the little electric pressure canner would be ideal. Now, I've wanted one for a while. They have the Presto brand, but those are so expensive. So I never would pull the trigger because that's just a lot of money for something I'm not real sure that I'll fall in love with, and be consistent with. Well, I saw that they have a Nesco pressure canner, and it's like, I've watched reviews on it. It's every bit as good as the Prestos, for what I can tell, and it's at a fraction of the cost. I've got me some money saved up. I just need a little bit more, so I'm seriously thinking about buying that. But my question to you all is, here's what I want to use it for. Winters here in Kentucky, well, at any given time, we liable to lose our electric. We have a lot of hills, a lot of trees, so if we get a strong windstorm, it's nothing for a tree branch or something to fall over an electric line. We might be out of electric for a day, 2 days. We've even went like 3 days over something simple like that, which I say simple. A lot of times, these workers, they've got to hike out in the woods to get to these simple fixes, But in the wintertime, it's nothing to get a heavy snowfall or a lot of ice and lose your electric and be out of electric a week or two. I remember there was once we had a bad storm. I think it's 2 weeks. I don't think we've ever went longer than 2 weeks, but it felt like longer than 2 weeks. But I'm wanting to do small batch canning with like meals in a jar, so that when those times come and we're out of electric, I can have a good meal canned in a jar. And basically all you're having to do at that point is take it out, warm it up. I've got one of those little butane burners. Well, I've got a couple of them actually. And I've got plenty of fuel for those because I stocked up on that. So those are easy to cook on in the house. And then I've got a little butane grill I can use. But I thought, wouldn't that be great to have some jarred meals that, on those days you don't want to, it's hard to cook, really. I mean, you could do grilled cheese and stuff like that, and a lot of times we'll get by with that. But if you want something that's going to hold you over, a jarred meal would be great. So I'm really seriously considering doing that. So if you all have any good resources, like a book or something with good recipes for like meals in the jar that you actually pressure can, I would love to know about them. I went on YouTube because YouTube is a great resource, and I found a lot of videos about pressure canning, and they were good at their information. They were good at showing your process, but the thing that I find is difficult from a person trying to view these people's videos is a lot of them, when you look in they'll say, we're going to do 5 meals in a jar recipes, pressure canning, So I go to the description box. I'm like, because they don't automatically tell you what those 5 things are in a lot of these videos. So my next step is to go to the description box and see if they've got the meals listed that they're going to be fixing, and they don't. Well, who wants to sit there and scroll and try to find the spots where they've began meal 1, meal 2, and so forth? and then trying to figure out what they're going to fix. I mean, wouldn't it be better to list in your description box this is what you're going? That way a person has an idea if that's going to be a video that holds any interest to something they'd be interested in. Now, I know they want watch time, but I think it's really rude to waste people's time. I want watch time too, but I don't want my viewers to feel like they're being abused by having to sit there and do all the hunting and searching. And a smaller, it's not really a pet peeve, but like I came across this one channel, she did tell, which her video was just saying, this is what I'm making. It's straightforward, going into that video, what she was going to make. She had the courtesy to put the ingredients and the measurements and how many jars and what size jars. And she might have listed her cook times on there, I'm not sure. But she didn't go into step details, I'm sorry y'all, of how from this is where you start. She didn't list it like that, but you could look in her description and see, okay, this is the ingredients she's using. And that made it real simple, and from there you could watch her actually make it. Now, those details wouldn't be a big issue in anybody's video if they weren't acting as like teachers or somebody doing like a tutorial about this is how you do it. If you're just saying, I'm going to invite you along, just let you watch me. And I'm going to be doing some canning today. Okay. People get the impression then you're not there trying to teach them how to do something. They're just there to enjoy watching you do what you do. But when you get a lot of these channels, and a good majority of them are like this, they won't have it cut out in their description where you can see what they're going to have, what they're going to show you or not. And to me, that's stressful. I don't have hours to just sit there and weed through video after video, hoping I might find one recipe that I'm interested in, But, oh well, I think I'm going to title today's gripe, or today's video, about everything to gripe about. But I'm sorry, y'all. But this is my stresses. Not every day is a great day, and not everything is pleasant. And God's good to me, and I'm blessed. And it's just little annoyances that makes life stressful sometimes. I might scratch this video, and it just feels like an awful lot of complaining. I'm sorry, y'all. But, yeah. But anyway, I didn't mean to get on a big tangent about things. But, yeah, I'm thinking about going ahead and trying to get one of those canners. And that way I can just do like small batch canning. I won't be getting in over my head. I'm not able to stand for hours and all that and manhandle a big canner and stuff. So I thought by getting the Nesco canner, I can, just do, I'm not sure how many jars I would say, maybe 4 or 5 quarts at a time, and have a meal in a jar, and that would be great. And, I don't have a big stash of jars, but every once in a while, pick up maybe a little flat of jars or something. I've heard a lot of people complaining about the Ball brand of lids, the little flaps. If y'all have any suggestions on a good brand to get with the least amount of failures, leave that in a comment below as well, because I'd like to invest in something that's going to be worth. That's food storage. It's worth if you have to spend a few dollars extra to get something good. So, yeah, that's my plans. So if I do go ahead with that, they'll probably be in some of my videos, stuff that I've decided to make. Now, I'm not going to do like the tutorial, this is how you do it, because I don't think I'm in a position to be trying to educate or tell anybody how to can any thing. I think if you're going to put yourself on YouTube in that capacity, you better know your stuff. You don't play around with Canon. You just don't do that. So if I share, I'll probably, in my videos, I'll be like, this is what I'm going to make, and y'all can hang around and watch me if you want to, but I'm not going to be saying, now this is what you need to do, and this is all this and this about Canon. No, I'm not going to do it. I don't feel comfortable in that role. Which I try not to make my videos. I catch myself because when I had my other channel that I uploaded to, a lot of my cooking videos, I kind of went on, I wasn't trying to be like a teacher or a professional, but that was my mannerism in how I presented my videos when I was cooking something, whatever. And I find myself falling back into that niche a little bit. And I don't want to be took that way, because that's when everybody's like, well, you didn't do this right and you didn't do it right. I just want people to come to my videos, enjoy, I don't know. I don't have a lot of value I don't get to my videos. Just have something to watch that's real, that's not AI and fake and big wow factors. Just, I have a mundane life, so if yours is a little bit more mundane than mine, maybe you'll enjoy my videos. I don't know, but I'm just gonna hush. I feel like I'm digging a hole for myself the more I talk. So if you watch this video, thank you. If you want to subscribe, that's great. If you want to share my videos, that's great. If you want to give me a thumbs up, that's great. If you want to leave a comment, that's great. And if you don't want to do none of those, that's okay too. No pressure. But my next video that I've got saved in queue, because I had one released this past Saturday, will actually be not this Sunday, but the next. So, oh well. Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, would you rather have just little chit-chat videos here and there? Would you rather the longer videos? Go ahead and let me know how you feel about that too. If there's something you don't like about my videos, feel free to complain down below. I can use a constructive criticism. I've griped enough in this video, so if you've got a complaint, as long as it's done in love, drop it below. I can handle it. But I love you all, and I'll catch you in the next video.